So the whole point of this video is to discuss something that I've seen pop up a few times over the internet, over different websites, across social media, across various different YouTube channels, and that is the possibility of Rockstar pushing out, releasing, creating, building the next Midnight Club game, whether it's called Midnight Club whatever or Midnight Club 5, I don't know. Is there a possibility of it happening? Is there one in the works? Would it even make sense for them to foray into such an endeavor? The whole point of this video is to look at a couple of viewpoints which I don't think many people have looked into or even covered, and hopefully give you guys something to snack on that's a little bit thought-provoking and coming at this from a totally different angle. Right now, I appreciate that if you click the link to this video, there is a very strong possibility you know what Midnight Club is, but obviously I've got to cater to everybody. So for those who have never heard of Midnight Club, very briefly, it's a series of racing video games developed by Rockstar San Diego, formerly known as Angel Studios, and published by Rockstar Games. The games are similar to the Midtown Madness series, previously developed by Angel Studios, focusing on competitive street racing in open world urban environments. Throughout the series, players race through New York City, London, Los Angeles, Paris, Tokyo, San Diego, Atlanta, and Detroit. So starting things off, we had Midnight Club Street Racing. That game focused on competitive street racing and the import scene. The game was released for PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance platforms, the former being a launch title for the platform, the first game in the Midnight Club franchise, which was then followed by Midnight Club 2, published for the PS2, the Xbox, and for Microsoft Windows, and first in the series to feature motorcycles. Players could race through cities based on LA, Paris, and Tokyo, as I mentioned earlier. The game also features an online multiplayer component and was the second game in the franchise, followed by Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Like previous installments in this series, the game is an arcade-style racer and focuses on wild, high-speed racing rather than realistic physics and driving. The name is derived from a partnership between Rockstar and Dub magazine, which features heavily in the game in the form of Dub-sponsored races and Dub customized vehicles as prizes. Now, the Dub Edition also had a spin-off title called the Dub Edition Remix. Now, it's available as a Greatest Hits release on PS2 and a Platinum Hits release on Xbox. Dub Edition Remix was released on March 12, 2006, about a year after the original Dub Edition. The game featured all of the cities, vehicles, and music and other features found from Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, and it also allows you to import your saved data, thus saving you from having to start all over again. They added 24 new vehicles, including some from brands that were not in the original, such as GMC, Infiniti, Pagani, and Scion. Tokyo was an additional city, which is a slightly updated version of the Tokyo City map from Midnight Club 2. There was also 25 new licensed songs, as well as additional races and battle maps, so basically a content overhaul, if you will. In 2008, we had Midnight Club Los Angeles, or LA as it's affectionately known. The game featured 43 cars and 4 motorcycles. The open world map of LA is the size of all 3 cities from the previous installments combined. After several delays, Midnight Club Los Angeles was released in October 2008, with the Rate My Ride feature having been removed due to hackers hacking into the system. If you're a hacker, hang your head in shame and jump off the nearest building. And finally, there was Midnight Club LA Remix. The game was developed by Rockstar London and was released on October 21st, 2008 in North America and on October 24th, 2008 in the PAL region. That's here in Europe for anyone who does not know. As the name of the title Remix suggests, it was very similar and built on the foundations from the original LA game. However, the remix does not feature cutscenes. Also, the cars in the game have been split up, meaning that one half of the cars can be used in LA while the other half can be used in Tokyo. The bikes aren't split, as all 3 can be used in LA and Tokyo. So there you go, there is a brief rundown of the history of Midnight Club. So essentially what you're looking at is an open world racer, loads of cars, loads of mayhem, loads of madness, and an absolute shit ton of customization. Now, I think a lot of you guys know that recently there were some pictures that were leaked. I think it was about maybe 1 or 2 months ago, I'm not really sure as to when the exact date was, basically suggesting there could be a new Midnight Club game in the works. In fact, quite a lot of people actually ran with the actual narrative that it was confirmed shot of Rockstar putting together a new Midnight Club game and that the game was actually in its testing phases. Unfortunately, it turns out that that seems to have been false. It wasn't true at all. It was either a spoof or it was actually a mobile game or something like that. I can't remember the full story, but I'm sure if you do a little bit of searching on YouTube, you will find exactly what I'm talking about. And to be quite honest with you, I feared that that would be the case, hence the reason why I didn't cover the story at all when it started to leak and when it started to emerge. Not every news story is a good story to put out. So why was I hesitant? Why did I pause and why did I fear putting out the news? Well, the reason being is because I look at this from a slightly different angle. Rather than looking at the fact that we should just have a new Midnight Club game because the previous games were good, I look at the logistics behind it. The first logistic I look at is sales figures. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to racing games, unfortunately, us guys who love cars, guys and girls I should say, who love cars, who are car fans, who like drifting, who like drag racing, customization, whatever, unfortunately, we are a niche market. Okay, we are a niche market, and for anyone who doesn't understand what the term niche means, it's basically we are a small set of fish in a big gaming pond. Ever since the introduction of PSN Network and Xbox Live, the past generation of gaming has been dominated by two specific types of genres, okay? Open world adventure games and first-person shooters. Those are the games that do the best, those are the games that do the most numbers, those are the games that sell the most copies, that are most played, that get the most media coverage, whatever, most hotly anticipated. Racing games don't sell many units. They just don't, unfortunately. We are a niche community. Now, gaming, whether you like it or not, is a business. Whether you can accept that, whether it's a hard pill to swallow, it's the hard fact. It is a business. These people that work at Rockstar, that work at EA, that work at Ubisoft, that work at all these different companies, too many to mention. At the end of the day, you have developers that are sitting in offices who are actually developing stories, researchers going out there doing the research, graphics designers, programmers, the media team, so many different roles. But the point is, the amount of people required to put together a game launch and take it all the way from its development to launch and then do the support after, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people, and people need to get paid for their work, and the way they get paid is obviously from the company from which they work for, and that company generates money through units sold. That's the circle of life. So from a business perspective, given the fact that the cost of living has gone up everywhere in the world over the past 10 years, does it make viable and financial sense for Rockstar to push out another Midnight Club game, knowing full well that it's not going to do the type of numbers that a GTA 5, that a Bully, that a Red Dead Redemption could do? What I'm going to do now is actually show you the numbers that I'm talking about, because I don't think you guys understand just how much of a niche, small, tiny, minute speck we are as car lovers, as racing game enthusiasts. So what I've got here is the ranking list for the most units of each game sold in order on each console, starting off with the Xbox One. If we take a look at this, we can see that since the Xbox One's original launch a few years ago, the top selling game is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, okay? Ranked number 1, and it has sold 7.3 million units worldwide. This is on the Xbox One only. Second, we've got GTA 5 at 7 million. Third, we've got Advanced Warfare, another Call of Duty game at 5.2 million. Fourth, we've got Halo 5 Guardians, 4.8 million. Fifth, we've got Battlefield 1. In fact, if I scroll down the list, what you're going to see is out of the top 10 games, 9 of the top 10 games are open world or shooting based games of some sort. FIFA comes in at number 10, having sold 3.58 million. So the real question is, where on this list is the closest racing game? Let's scroll down. 19th. Forza Horizon 3, released in 2016, has to date sold 2.76 million copies. Now, this number, even with this number here, there's a grey area, and the grey area is as follows. When you buy an Xbox One today, more than likely you're going to get Forza Horizon 3 shipped in as part of the packaging, and the actual cost of the game is rolled into the actual price of the console. So for example, Black Friday just went, you might have seen a deal for an Xbox One S for about $160 or £160. and it comes free with Forza Horizon, well, you're pretty much paying for the game anyway as part of the bundle. You may not want the game, but it's coming with it anyway. Not only that, but we all know that the Forza franchise gets more promotion on Xbox than any other game as it's made in-house. So even with all that heavy promotion, even with it being the lead title at launch and all that stuff there, it still only comes 19th on the list. Now, if we switch over to the PS4, I expect things to be slightly different, only because I know there's more people that play FIFA on the PlayStation than there is on the Xbox. Let's take a look at it. No surprise, GTA 5 at the very top of the list, 16 million sales on the PS4 worldwide. Black Ops 3 comes in second at just under 15 million. FIFA 17 has done 10.8 million. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, 9.5 million. You got a few more FIFA titles in the top 10, but it's all dominated by things like Star Wars Battlefront, Call of Duty Infinity Warfare, Advanced Warfare. If we scroll down the list again, where is the closest racing title? Where is the first racing title on this list? Because I'm scrolling through, I'm scrolling. Need for Speed 2015 selling 2.66 million. Now, as I said earlier on, I don't like using Forza Horizon 3 as the measuring stick for the Xbox because it gets a ridiculously insane amount of promotion for the purpose of showcasing the Xbox One's hardware and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to even up the balance. We now know that the sales figures so far for Need for Speed 2015 on the PS4 were 2.6 million, okay? What I want to do is look at how many units of that sold on the Xbox One. You're going to be surprised. Was it 2 million? No. Was it 1.5 million? No. Did it even move a million copies? No. 750,000, 700k. That is how many units the world's most popular racing franchise managed to move on the Xbox One. Do you see what I'm saying? Is this starting to become clear? Racing games don't sell. They don't sell the way that an open world action adventure, a massive sports franchise like FIFA, or a third or first person shooter. The generation of my head hurts. But I hope you understand where I'm going with this. The combined total of Need for Speed 2015 sales with the total of Forza Horizon 3 sales added together still do not equate to what GTA 5 sold on the Xbox One alone. Trust me, there are so many different ways I can present these numbers to you. I say this over and over again. A number can look very different when you put context and words behind it. So from a business perspective, if I was at Rockstar and I was looking at the landscape of things, the way in which gaming is moving, you know, the things upon which are being bought, what kind of games are leaving the shelves, I'm going to be looking at that and I'm going to be thinking to myself, is it really worth us investing all the money, all the resources, all the time into putting together another Midnight Club game when really and truly, yes, it's wanted by, yes, it's longed for by the racing community, but for every single fan of a racing game, there's probably 100 fans of a third or first person shooter or of an open world action adventure game. That is where the guaranteed money is at. Now, I'm not for 1 second suggesting that Rockstar are a company that searches for money only and they don't care about gaming, because of course they do, but at the end of the day, it is a business. It is a business first, and with no business you can't make games. Look at Sega. Sega was one of the biggest gaming franchises on the planet. Where are they now? They've been reduced from actually being at the forefront of making consoles to now just making games, because as a business the model failed, and that upsets me quite a lot. For every one person screaming and shouting, and I'm one of those people, don't get me wrong, so I'm not criticizing you guys, I am on you guys' side. For every single one of us that's sitting there beating our chest screaming we want a new Midnight Club, there's 100,000 other people out there screaming for a Red Dead Redemption. Right, moving on, the second reason as to why I feel that there possibly isn't a new Midnight Club game in the works, at least for the foreseeable future anyway, is brand integrity. Now, over the past few years, with the rise of social media, it's given people like myself, people like you guys, the opportunity to get closer to developers than ever before, share your opinions, give feedback, you know, talk about what you like and talk about what you don't like. And it's that final point, talking about what you don't like, which has changed the way in which the gaming industry works. Brand integrity. EA and Ubisoft are two of the biggest gaming brands in the world. However, what have they both got in common at the moment? It's quite simple. They're both going through difficult times, PR wise anyway. Don't know about money, they're probably making loads of money, but in terms of PR wise, they are not having it easy. At this present moment in time, EA are being torn to pieces. People that bought the recent UFC game are not happy. People that bought Payback are not happy. People that bought Battlefront are not happy. And to be honest, I can understand why in a lot of those cases. The microtransactions, the software glitches, the whole attitude of driving towards the dollar, driving towards the pound rather than driving towards the actual player itself. I get that. If you look at Ubisoft, they're suffering as well, all of which is their own doing. Look at The Division. The Division was supposed to be one of the great games of this generation based on the marketing, the advertising and all the media shabam we got in the lead up to it. And what happened? We ended up getting a game which was completely flawed, completely buggy, completely ruined by hackers and completely downgraded visually. It's not the first time Ubisoft have had this issue. They had the exact same problem with Watch Dogs. Maybe not so much the hacking because the multiplayer element wasn't as present as it was in games like The Division. However, you got a massively downgraded product, at least visually anyway. So what you've got is you've got two gaming brands which are currently bleeding. They're scarred. The integrity of them as a commodity right now is suffering in the eyes of the people that matter, which is you guys that are watching this video, us, the gamers. Rockstar, no saints, because at the end of the day, they've had one or two issues as well, but they are nowhere near in the same type of position as these guys. Rockstar gets love. Rockstar gets a lot more love than these guys. Red Dead Redemption, everyone wants a new Red Dead Redemption game. GTA, loads of people are asking when the next GTA is coming out. Bully, people want a Bullied 2. With EA and Ubisoft, if one of those two companies release a brand new concept for a brand new game tomorrow, the whole of the comment section for the advert for that game will be, don't want it, it's going to be downgraded. How about you start focusing on your audience first? Game's going to be littered with microtransactions. EA is the devil, Ubisoft is the devil's son, and at the end of the day, I'm not criticizing people for doing that because these companies have made big mistakes. The racing game community is one of the most toxic communities out there. When you guys don't like something, when we don't like something, we're pretty harsh. We can be pretty harsh. I'm one of them, you know. I'm not going to sit here and try and distance myself from it. I do it in a respectful way. I don't call people names. I don't abuse people. I don't, you know, use a whole lot of cursing. But as you saw from what happened with me in Gran Turismo Sport, I put my points out in a logical way, a passionate way, but a logical way, absolutely going at their necks. At this present moment in time, the Midnight Club franchise, the integrity of it is in a good place. Sometimes in life, as the creator of something, it's better to leave when you're on top. Floyd Mayweather, 50-0, left when he was on top. Boxer, for those of you who may not know. Mike Tyson, arguably in his prime, the most dangerous boxer who ever got in the ring. But unfortunately boxed a little bit too long and his legacy is a little bit tarnished from some defeats in certain fights that he just shouldn't have taken. Do you see where I'm going with this? Maybe they just don't want to tarnish the brand that Midnight Club is and destroy the integrity of not only Midnight Club but Rockstar as a commodity. Now again, this is not fact, I have no inside information. All of this is just once again me putting my opinion out and speculating, because what I'm trying to do here is look at it from a Rockstar point of view, a developer's point of view, a publishing company's point of view, because I think sometimes we're guilty of just looking at things from one side and not looking at it from both sides, if that makes sense. What I would say though, just touching back on my first point about sales figures, I want to use the brand LG as an example, okay? LG. So LG make mobile phones, okay, or cell phones, which I think you call them in North America. How many of you have seen one of your friends or family members or even yourself using an LG? Probably not many. you could probably go through your phone book and the first 10 people in your phone book have probably got iPhones or Samsungs or something like that. Now, I know for a fact that LG make an operating loss year on year. They make a financial loss year on year whenever they release mobile phones. They make a loss. I know this for a fact because it's the information is out there. It's publicized. You can go and Google it if you don't believe me. Not only that, but I've worked in the mobile sector for the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, so I've got a little bit of an understanding behind what I'm talking about here. They make a loss year on year. So why the heck, as a business, do they still continue to put out phones every year if they are going to make a financial loss? The reason being is because what LG also do is they make household appliances, they make electronics, they do manufacturing, and they make some of the best display panels in the world TV wise. They make profits in pretty much all of those other areas. So even though they're making a loss in one area, the overall sum of parts is greater than the individual. They are making enough profit in all those other areas to be able to take a loss there, because year on year, when you add it all together, they're still in the black. Maybe if the reason, and this is a big if, because once again, I'm just speculating here, but if the reason for them not looking into putting together a Midnight Club 5 or a new Midnight Club game is to do with fears of it not selling enough units, you have sold, from my understanding, 80 million copies of GTA to date. You're still selling shark cards. When the next Red Dead Redemption game comes out, you're more than likely going to easily surpass 20 to 30 million sales on that. The point is that if you're getting all of the figures and the income and the revenue from those games there, and we're talking blockbuster numbers here, we're talking blockbuster numbers, then it stands to reason that surely you'd be in a position, a financial position, where you've got the safe haven to actually take a risk on another open world racer. You know, test the waters, see what happens, you know? But that's just my opinion, guys, at the end of the day. I don't really know what else to say. Personally, I hope I'm wrong about most of these points. I really do hope that we do see a new Midnight Club game. I don't know when it would be, if there would be one, but nevertheless, it's something that I've got my fingers crossed for. And obviously, if there is any news on that to be the case, then I will be updating you guys accordingly. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it's your first time around here, I wish you a born welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, I want you guys to share your thoughts and your opinions in the comments section below. I want to know what your thoughts are on what I've said, or maybe you've got something else that you'd like to add. Maybe there's an angle that you feel that you can add to this whole debate. It's a discussion. Let's get talking. I'll see you when the next video comes out. Take it easy. Peace.